So we will be using a data array. Let's take that and let's have some data in here. 6, 8, 10 and 3. All right, and in Visual Basic, as I said, the 3 is the maximum index, so that means it's 1, 0, 1, 2 and 3. All right, so that's why it is. And we can use a for loop, right? For loop 0 to 3, and then we can use a console dot write line, and the spelling is write line, okay, to print data I. So this is the syntax, and of course next is the. So what we are doing is, when I equal to 0, all right, and we need to figure out what is the data I. Data I is all about. So when I equal to 0, data I is 6, right? So this is index 0, 1, 2 and 3. All right, and so we're going to print obviously 6, right? We're going to print 6, and when I equal to 1, in the next iteration, data 1 becomes 8. So that's why we do. When I becomes 2, data I, which is this, right? So 10. When I becomes 3, data I is 3. So that is how we access the elements in the array. Very simple way to do it. Arrays, for loops are easier to use, because in for loop we know the number of iterations we have to do, and in the array we know the number of elements also to browse, so it matches perfectly. So that's why arrays and for loops, they go together. Yeah. So we'll just remember how to do it, and here I'll make a quick suggestion. And in case you increase the length of the array, to by syntax 3 is incorrect, but I just put it for the video sake. So let's say you change the array to 4, not 4. Let's say we'll make it 9, right? So the index becomes 4. So we have to change this guy, right? Code has to be changed. So we need to, instead of 3, we need to make it 4, right? So in general, this is not a good idea to keep changing the code. So what generally people do is, we remove this guy. We remove all these things. So no matter how big your array is, right? No matter how big the array you have, we generally figure out somewhere here, somewhere in here. Okay, num equal to data is the array dot length. Length we figure out, and data length gives the number of elements in the array. So data length returns the number of elements in the array. So we have, how many elements we have? 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. But we said it will only go from 0 to 4, right? The length is 5. So to use this length function method, so we don't have to change this code again and again. We say num is the total length of the array, which is 5, but 5 is not a character, so we'll put -1. So this becomes from I equal to 0 to 4, right? Because we have 4 elements. Let's say you change this code later to include some more elements. Let's say you added 5, you added 13, you went on and added as much as you can. Now I don't have to change this code at all, because my length, number of elements in the cell, in the array, is given here, right? And my num will always be the number of elements, and my for loop will always go from 0 to 1 less than the number of cells. So we always encourage you to use this data length. All right, so I'll repeat, maybe try to remove this code here, bring it here. All right, so always use this code. All right, always use this code like this. Length num equal to data dot length. Okay, that one way of doing it. There's other alternate way people use it. All right, alternate way is there's something called get upper bound. You just put it here. Okay, we don't have to calculate this guy anymore. All right, we can simply use this function. I'll put it in a different, maybe here. We can use num. This is or either this technique or different technique. Get data dot get upper bound, and you have to specify which dimension you have to use. Here the first dimension, so it's always put 0 here. So now you are going to get the number of elements in the cell. See here, if you go here, where is our stuff? Here, built-in functions with array. Get upper bound 0. You see here, this one will tell gets the index of the last element. It already gives you. So what you can do is, you don't have to do anything. We simply put num here. That's it. So which one you want to use, accordingly you have to, if you use either first technique or you could use the second technique, right? And you have to, if you use the length, then you have to put -1 you have to put. But if you use get upper bound 0, which is the one dimension, then you don't have to do anything. It gives the, here let's say here index is 5 and 6. This will give you 6 automatically. All right, so depending upon your style of programming, you should be able to use either the length option or the get upper bound function. Okay, thank you.